absolutely crushing it. So this is not an Army-wide problem. This is not a SOF-wide problem. This is a very specific Special Forces problem. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and it is absolutely brutal out there for the official Special Forces social media pages. The amount of just utter hate and backlash in the comment section is actually insane, and it's all because, of course, the Tim Kennedy debacle. And while this video is not about Tim Kennedy, it is about the damage that Tim Kennedy has done to these social media pages, and with that, Special Forces recruitment and the Special Forces brand and image in general. Because again, guys, honestly, when you guys see this, if you haven't seen it already, it's insane. All right, so what we're going to do in this video, we're going to head on over, we're going to check out these social media pages, look at the comment section, and yeah, it is rough out there, boys. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on Patreon. Grab some merch. I got a Munchkin tank top on right now. Let's jump into it. All right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to head on over to the Army SWCS Instagram page. If you don't know what that is, it's the Army Special Warfare Center in School, right? It's where the Special Forces qualification course is, and then also the hub for its training group, essentially, okay? And it's going to be important later, and for you guys to understand why this Instagram page is taking an absolute beating. I'll explain that on the back end, right? But first, let's just head over there and check this out. All right, so here we are, the U.S. Army SWCS Instagram page. Typically an awesome Instagram page, a lot of positive stuff going on here. You know, they're showing off all the upcoming cool training. You know, guys are doing dive school, Halo school, Q course, even got one coming on for the USOC best squad competition, all this stuff where you would think this would have really positive interactions. If you look at most of these, the Ranger Battalion, USOC, a bunch of other ones, you know, you'll see a pretty positive comment section, right? But here, that's not necessarily the case. Let's take a look at what we got here, guys. All right, so best squad competition, Special Forces work constantly to stay ahead of the threat of the nation, relentless pursuit of victory. Awesome, great stuff, right? All right, here we go. First comment. Here are just some of the interviews about Tim's stolen valor with massive compendium. When are we revoking Tim Kennedy's SF tab orders? Waiting for the Tim Kennedy comments. Tim Kennedy will take them all down. Tim Kennedy, relentless in the pursuit of disgrace. And you're going to see, unfortunately, guys, a ton of comments regarding that type of thing. Special Forces has lost all its integrity. Special Forces is disgrace, all these things, which to me really, really pisses me off, guys, as someone who, again, is a Green Beret, you know, legacy Green Beret. All my friends are Green Berets. Everybody I hang out with is Green Berets. And if we look at the guys that came before us, there's me with my dad and a bunch of his generation. We owe it to them as well to uphold the legacy and the honor and integrity of the Green Beret moving forward, which is not happening right now. All right, real quick, back to the comments on this one, because again, just came out 3 hours ago. Shouldn't have even been that much time for all these comments, but people just bulldozing it, right? As we scroll down, here we go. Tim already won. As a parent, I'm concerned that no action has been taken regarding Tim Kennedy's conduct. Tim Kennedy needs to be our top priority. Tim Kennedy, Tim Kennedy, Tim Kennedy, Tim Kennedy. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. It's 100%. All right, then we jump over to this video. This video is on pretty much every special operation page, okay? It's on this one, it's on USOC, it's over on the 75th Ranger Battalion page. So we're going to take a look at the comments here and then compare them to what's going on in the other ones, all right? This should be, again, this is the USOC best squad competition. Really cool thing that goes on. People are usually really excited about this, right? Here's the video.
SOF operations require non-SOF support. Those aren't just words or suggestion, that's an objective truth. So next week, we'll be kicking off the USOC Best Squad competition, and you're going to see that represented in the teams from across USOC competing in this event. But this competition isn't just about individual talent. It's about teams coming together as a squad.
All right, very cool, right? People usually get really excited about this, okay? It's a really fun event. You got a bunch of different squads from, you know, all the different special operations units that come and competed against each other. Let's look at the comment section on this thing. All right, as you can see, the countdown is on. Monday, we kick off the best squad competition, and immediately, right at the top, Sticky Green Beret. And guys, the crazy thing is tons of these comments are from Green Berets, right? That's not surprising because basically the entire regiment is furious about this, but Let's scroll down. All right, Tim Kennedy buried 4 cases of MREs along the course already. That's kind of a joke because he cheated in the SEER school. Tim Kennedy will compete as an entire squad, coalition asset. Next week, you should kick off the results of your investigation into Tim Kennedy. Do something about Tim Kennedy. Rip to the PAO of this page. I know she's dreading every time they post. Yeah, that's for sure. Cool words. Tim Kennedy. Stolen valor. There will be a countdown on Tim Kennedy's tab. It's giving Tim Kennedy. Are we going to hold Tim Kennedy accountable for stolen valor and war crimes? Why bother when you have Tim Kennedy? Tim Kennedy already wrote a book about it. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, guys, and I can scroll down and just keep going. Like I told you guys, it's every single comment. Pull his tab already. Every single comment. I mean, it's insane, right? Have you ever seen a social page with 100% negative backlash like this? I mean, like the Epstein stuff is about the only thing I've seen close to this that people will just not drop it. Everybody is a dog with a bone right now. I'm going to show you comparatively, right? Is this going on everywhere, or is this just strictly Special Forces social media pages? Well, let's check out the 75th Ranger Regiment, which, by the way, they absolutely crush with their social media pages. Just by followers, you can see they've got 4 times as many as SWCS does. And also their YouTube channel, we'll get into that in a second. Much, much better content in general. Here's the exact same video right here. Best squad. All right, so here we go. And this one, of course, same video, but on the 75th Ranger Regiment page instead, as we scroll through the comments, oh, hearts, fire emojis, sunglasses emojis, flexing emojis, hooah. 275 going. Ooh, claps, hearts, fire. Thank you. Wow, it's a little bit different than the Special Forces social media pages, huh? And guys, just to prove my point, I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through these, but we're just going to quickly click on a bunch of these in a row so you can see it's every single post. All right, so we go here, start scrolling down. Tim Kennedy, still avoiding dressing situation. Tim Kennedy, have you not held him accountable? Okay, there we go. Next one down. Ooh, this one's about medicine. Should be cool, right? What do we got? Was Tim Kennedy the first on the scene here? Pull his tab. Any update on Tim Kennedy? Tim Kennedy goes on forever all the way down. Ooh, NVG stuff. This is cool. First comment, is that a shy tag? Oh, there he is. Tim Kennedy. All right, let's go to the next one real quick. Commo, this is my lane. Love to see it. Satcom, what do we got going here in the comment section? Ah, yes, ignoring massive problem in the hopes of go-away technique. Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. Tell him to call in a 9 line because your integrity is dying. And Tim Kennedy. All right, let's just do one more because, again, literally, it's just every single thing we could do. All right, little ruck marching. Comment section checks out. The bully will continue until accountability improves. South Park Timmy. To my point, guys, it goes on and on and on and on and on. It's absolutely crazy, and it's embarrassing. I don't know how SWCS hasn't realized this is not going away until you do something. All right, but I need to explain to you guys, because there's some context to this about why the SWCS page, and even though some other pages are getting destroyed too, is taking the main brunt of this, right? But before we do that, stick with me. We've got to give a moment to give a shout out to our partners over at Tasty Gains Gummies. All right, guys, we're back with our partners at Tasty Gains, and they got a new product, pre-workout gummies. Now, if you're like me, you're trying to get rid of your last vice, which is energy drinks, you need to swap over to pre-workout gummies. Best part about these, they're organic, 1 gram of sugar, give your liver and your kidneys a break from all those energy drinks. 30 servings of this, only $30, far cheaper than your Red Bull habit. If you're looking for an awesome pre-workout that's gonna give you all the same effects as your regular pre-workout for a way better price, swap over, try Tasty Gains Gummies. Now let's hit this workout. All right, now let me explain why this is all actually happening. And also, this is the part of the video where I'm going to tell you how you can actually help with this yourself, interestingly enough. So what essentially was happening is, first, all of this hate was being directed towards USASOC because people assumed, well, USASOC would be the one that would take care of this. Well, it turns out because of weird legalities with the National Guard and how these things work, USASOC can't act as the initiating authority to have a tab pulled or a beret pulled. I guess the way it works. What has to happen is that SWCS, which is the issuing authority of the Green Beret and the tab, right? You get it from SWCS when you graduate the Q course. They are the ones that need to put forth the tab revocation packet for it to go up to USASOC, who will then act as judge, jury, and executioner beyond that. So what all these Green Berets have realized is that pressure needs to be put on SWCS to get them to actually act. So what you can do to help, if you're watching this video and you think that you'd like to see honor and integrity restored to the Special Forces Regiment, go follow the SWCS Instagram page, and every time they post, join in with the hundreds of Green Berets who are spamming that page. Now, it might sound catty, but this is actually really the only way to continuously apply pressure on the unit that would actually be the ones that would get this done. But it's not just the SWCS page. I mean, I showed you guys the USASOC page. They actually had to pull down their post. These pictures were posted on the, you guys remember the Army Parade, what was that, just a month or two ago? They actually had the audacity to have the Sergeant Major of the Army, who's a Green Beret, pose with Tim Kennedy and bring him out to the parade. And this is 6 months after he was already exposed. And honestly, I think Sergeant Major Weimer is the biggest problem in this entire debacle. I think that he's, if this is just speculation on my part, but I see so many pictures with him and his buddy Tim, that he's fraternizing with this, and he's probably providing top cover and protecting Tim Kennedy, if I had to guess. Nothing else really makes sense. And it's hilarious for a Green Beret Sergeant Major of the Army to talk about stuff like the standards being upheld as he's doing photo ops with this dude.
The standard, you're not going to change the standard. The standard's tried and true.
There you go, guys. Standard's not going to change. The standard's tried and true, except for unless, you know, you're protecting your buddy Tim Kennedy, then it will. Real cool. And unfortunately, this is having downwind effects on all of Special Forces and the other Special Forces media pages. We're going to take a look at the new Special Forces Assessment and Selection YouTube channel, right? Started off, welcome video, people pretty excited, 30,000 views, and as you see now, we're completely burned in. 500 views, 700 views a video, nobody's watching, nobody cares, and it's super disappointing because this YouTube channel has all the potential in the world, and I can juxtapose this real quickly with another soft unit that's crushing the 75th Ranger Regiment. Their YouTube channel, fantastic. Their social media, not struggling. Their recruitment, not struggling. Let's take a look at these view numbers. 71,000, 85,000, 46,000, 94,000, 81,000. Almost 1 million views. Absolutely crushing it. So this is not an Army-wide problem. This is not a soft-wide problem. This is a very specific Special Forces problem. And at some point, the command structure in SWCS and USASOC has got to realize this is not going away. This is the military's Epstein client list. Nobody is letting this go. You have to do something. I don't think they actually will, personally. And that brings us into a conversation about the RSOF core attributes, because you probably see this comment all over the place over on the Army SWCS Instagram page, or the lack of these core attributes now. And that is, of course, what are they? Integrity. Well, Special Forces Regiment looks like it has zero integrity right now, disgustingly enough. Courage. I don't know. Courage is kind of do the right thing. Perseverance. Well, you're seeing perseverance from one group that's not letting this go. Personal responsibility. Professionalism. Team player. All of these things that are not really seeming to be adhered to right now. All right, and to wrap it up, some final things to think about. There really is, I can't think of another person who has caused more problems, drama, negative PR for Special Forces, or really the military in general, by a single individual than what Tim has done with all of this. And if you guys think about it, those of you who've been in the military know there's been people who get kicked out of the military, tabs revoked, berets revoked for infinitely less. All it takes to have your tab revoked, technically, is conduct unbecoming, right? That's it. Bringing disgrace upon the Special Forces Regiment. That's it. And ultimately, guys, pretty much the entire Green Beret community is in unison on this. I mean, you talk about just hundreds of Green Berets that are out vocally talking about this. I mean, I just saw a bunch of 7th Group Green Berets on Eddie Gallagher's show talking about this the other day. It's not going to go away until the tab is pulled. And you got to, at some point, I think, like, what is the cost benefit analysis of this? Why are you protecting this dude at the downfall of the integrity and the entire image of the Special Forces Regiment? Super disappointing. I'm just super, overall, you know, it's like when dad's not mad at you. I'm just super disappointed, especially just in the command at the top, especially Sergeant Major Weimer. Super disappointed that, your relationship with one individual is more important than the entire integrity of the Green Beret. Sad to see. Well, that's going to do it for this one. And I guess I'll catch y'all in the next one.